Peripheral artery disease is grossly underdiagnosed. It's estimated that 1/3 of your patients who are diabetic over 50, patients over the age of 70, and smokers over the age of 50 have peripheral artery disease. PADnet 4.0 is an easy way to test for PAD in your practice. It's clinically valuable, it's easy to use for your staff, and it's also reimbursable with appropriate indications. Today, our technician Eric is going to perform the two different modalities that we use when we're doing a PADnet study. The first is a blood pressure, where we're actually comparing the pressures in the arm to the ankle. It's called an ankle brachial index. And we also are going to do a pulse volume recording. A PVR waveform is a visual of a pulse. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Eric, if you want to go ahead and do the blood pressure first. Our patient is Chris, and you can see on his ankle we've got the pressure cuff, and on the toe we've got a PPG probe. This PPG probe gives a visual of the return to flow. The cuff is acting as a tourniquet. The inflation and deflation of the cuff takes under a minute with the PADnet 4.0 device. And Eric is simply clicking Start, Save, and Next. So the software is very intuitive.
The pressure's been taken.
Great. Let's move on to the full volume recording.
Just have to click over the correct segments.
Great. Again, the inflation and deflation of the cuff for the PVR waveform is less than a minute. The total study time for a segmental bilateral study is 12 to 15 minutes with the new PADnet 4.0 device, virtually cutting the testing time in half. Once Eric gets a visual of the PVR waveform across the screen, he's going to go ahead and save that.
Done.
Great. Those are the two different modalities. We're using pressures, we're using PVR waveforms. When a study is completed, Eric can push send and then the results are transmitted to a specialist of choice. In addition, this test is reimbursable. Under the CPT codes 93922, 93923, and 93924. 93922 is a single level bilateral study where we're looking at the pressures in the arms and the ankles and the PVR waveforms in the ankles. CPT code 93923 is a segmental bilateral study where we're looking at the pressures in the arms and the ankles and then the PVR waveforms above the knee, the calf, the ankle, and the toe. CPT code 93924 is post-exercise testing where you're looking at the patient's results at rest and comparing them to the results after the patient is stressed. PADnet is addressing a very important cause to potentially save limbs and lives of your patients. It's clinically valuable, it's easy to use, and it's also reimbursable with appropriate indications. Thanks.